Hello there and welcome to this ROBO Designer video on navigating the various tables for designing a deck. I really hope that this video actually gives you a bit of clarity for just understanding the various tables for designing a deck. This video is one of many on the ROBO Designer YouTube channel. I'm Paul and this YouTube channel here is all about helping you navigate the difficult New Zealand building code regulations. I will let you know about little known clauses and design considerations that can prevent you from making mistakes and getting it right first time. But the greatest gift I can give you is the ROBO Designer online tool. This online tool will help you design your deck to New Zealand building code regulations within minutes. Well, selecting a bearer size and a joist size for a deck is actually a bit of a complicated process. So I've done a video on bearers and I've done a video on joists and I've also done a video on loaded dimensions and also one on decking sizes as well, and these all tie in together. So this video here is really just trying to navigate your way through these different tables and actually just coming up with something that's actually going to work for you. So the first consideration is how high is your deck? Now, if your deck is more than 1 metre above the ground, you're going to need a barrier on your deck. And because you need a barrier, it actually needs a minimum joist size of 190 by 45 millimetres. So this is actually shown in NZS 3604 under figure 7.10b and 7.10c. Now, there's a detailed drawing in there which actually specifies a joist size of 190 millimetres by 45 millimetres, which is a minimum size. Now, if your deck is actually quite low, this is also going to affect the joist size and the bearer size as well. So the bottom face of the bearer cannot be less than 300 millimetres above the ground or 150 millimetres above the ground if you've actually got a damp-proof course in there which is overlapping by minimum 6 millimetres. So this does actually have an impact as well. Once you've actually worked out your bearer size, you'll need to work out how many rows of bearers you actually need. Now also, there's 3 different grades of bearers. There's SG6, SG8 and SG10. Now SG8 is actually the most common one used, but there are also in NZS 3604 separate alternative tables for SG6 and SG10. You might want to consider having cantilevered overhangs on the end of your bearers. Now in NZS 3604 under clause 6.12.4 there's actually a little snippet in there which just gives some information on how much you can actually have your bearer overhang at each end. Now the advantage of this is actually that you can actually in some cases actually reduce the number of piles actually holding up the bearer, so it saves a bit of cost and a bit of time as well. To work out how many rows of bearers you need, you'll need to look at the loaded dimension diagram and also you'll need to look at the bearer table as well. Now these two need to be used together. Another thing is that there may be more than one option for bearer sizes and spacing, so you just need to pick one that's going to work for you. Once the bearers are taken care of, it's time now to work on the joists. Now, as with the bearers, there's 3 different grades of structural timber which actually can be used: SG6, SG8 and SG10. And as mentioned before, that if your deck is more than 1 metre above the ground, you will need a minimum joist size of 190 millimetres by 45 millimetres. So if your deck falls into this category here, half the timber sizes actually in these tables are not going to be applicable for you. The table we use is 7.1b, the wet and surface area of this table. Now if you're using SG6 or SG10 joists, there are alternative tables under a 7.2. Another thing to mention here is that if your joist is continuous over 2 or more spans, then you can increase the span size by 10%. Another factor is actually the decking used. So under clause 7.4.3 there's a little bit in there it just talks about the decking size and the spacing of the joist. So this may or may not actually have a factor in your design for your deck. And also if you've got decking which is actually at 45 degrees and it's specified there at 600mm joist spacing, then this comes down to 425 millimeters. The joist table and the decking clause there, they need to work together also with the information you've got from the bearer size selected just previously. Now for more information, I've done a separate video on bearers and one on joists and another one on loaded dimensions and also one on decking sizes as well. So I've got the links down there in the description below. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I hope it just gives you just a bit of clarity there on just where to start on actually trying to design the joist size and the bearer size and the spacings of the joists and the bearers, and also integrating this with the decking size as well. And I hope that this video has just given you some insight into this here. Please don't forget to subscribe to the ROBO Design Solutions YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next video anyway. Thank you.